Hey there, welcome back to the channel. If you're someone who relies on Social Security or SSI, or you know someone who does, then you absolutely need to hear what I'm about to share with you today because the Social Security Administration just dropped some numbers that millions of Americans have been waiting for, and trust me, this is going to impact your wallet directly. We're talking about the biggest cost of living adjustment we've seen in years, and if you're not up to speed on what this means for your monthly payments, you could be missing out on crucial information that affects your financial planning for the entire year ahead. So are you ready to find out exactly how much more money could be hitting your bank account? Are you prepared to understand what this increase really means for your day-to-day expenses? And most importantly, do you know when you can expect to see these changes reflected in your actual payments? The Social Security Administration has officially announced the cost of living adjustment for this year, and beneficiaries across the country are going to see a significant boost in their monthly payments. This increase isn't just a small bump that barely covers inflation, we're talking about one of the largest percentage increases we've witnessed in recent history, and it's coming at a time when millions of Americans are struggling with rising costs in virtually every area of their lives. From grocery bills that seem to climb higher every week to utility costs that make you think twice before adjusting the thermostat, people receiving Social Security and SSI have been feeling the squeeze, and this COLA is designed to help offset some of that financial pressure. Now, let me break down exactly what these new numbers look like and what they mean for different categories of beneficiaries because not everyone is going to see the same dollar amount added to their checks. For those receiving Social Security retirement benefits, the average monthly payment is going to increase by a substantial amount that could make a real difference in your monthly budget. We're looking at an increase that translates to real purchasing power, not just pennies on the dollar that disappear the moment you step into a store. For someone receiving the average retirement benefit, this could mean hundreds of additional dollars over the course of the year, and when you're living on a fixed income, that kind of money matters tremendously. For SSI recipients, the story is equally important because these individuals are often living at or near the poverty line, and every single dollar counts when you're trying to make ends meet. The federal SSI payment standard is increasing accordingly with the COLA, which means that individuals receiving SSI will also see more money in their monthly payments. This is particularly crucial for SSI beneficiaries because many of them don't have additional sources of income to fall back on, and they're often dealing with disabilities or other circumstances that make it challenging to supplement their income through work. So when we talk about a significant COLA increase, for SSI recipients, this can literally be the difference between being able to afford medication or having to choose between food and prescriptions. But here's something really important that a lot of people don't fully understand about COLA increases, and this is where things can get a little complicated, so stay with me because this affects how much you'll actually see in your bank account. While the COLA increase does boost your benefit amount, there are other factors that can eat into that increase, and the biggest culprit is usually Medicare Part B premiums. For many Social Security beneficiaries, their Medicare Part B premium is automatically deducted from their Social Security check each month, and unfortunately, these premiums tend to increase as well, sometimes significantly. So while you're getting a larger gross benefit amount from Social Security, your net payment after the Medicare premium deduction might not increase by as much as you initially thought. This is something that catches a lot of beneficiaries off guard every year because they hear about this substantial COLA percentage and they start calculating what their new payment should be, but then when they actually see their first check with the increase, they're disappointed because the Medicare premium went up too and took a chunk of that COLA. The good news is that there's something called the hold harmless provision that protects most Social Security beneficiaries from having their net benefit reduced due to Medicare premium increases, but this doesn't mean you'll see the full COLA either. It's a complicated protection mechanism that ensures your Social Security payment doesn't actually decrease from one year to the next solely because of Medicare premium increases, but it can limit how much of your COLA you actually get to keep. So what should you be doing right now with this information? First and foremost, you need to know when these increases are actually going to show up in your payment. For Social Security beneficiaries, the new payment amounts with the COLA included will start appearing based on the regular payment schedule, which means you need to know your payment date to anticipate when you'll see that first increased check. For SSI recipients, the timing is slightly different because SSI payments typically come on the first of the month, or the last business day of the previous month if the first falls on a weekend or holiday. Understanding your specific payment schedule is crucial for budgeting purposes because you want to know exactly when that extra money is coming in. Another critical action item is to keep an eye out for your official benefit statement from the Social Security Administration. They send out notices to all beneficiaries explaining the exact dollar amount of their new benefit, and this letter is important because it gives you the precise numbers you need to plan your budget. Don't just assume what your increase will be based on the percentage you hear on the news or even in videos like this one, because your individual situation might be different based on various factors including your current benefit amount, whether you have Medicare premiums deducted, and other potential deductions or adjustments that might apply to your specific case. Now, let's talk about what this COLA increase really means in terms of purchasing power and whether it's actually going to help you keep up with inflation. The cost of living adjustment is calculated based on the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, which is a mouthful, but basically it's a measure of how prices for goods and services have changed over time. The problem is that this index might not perfectly reflect the spending patterns of seniors and people with disabilities, who often spend a larger portion of their income on healthcare and housing compared to the general working population. So while the COLA is designed to help maintain your purchasing power, it doesn't always perfectly match the actual inflation you're experiencing in your daily life. This is particularly frustrating for beneficiaries who see their grocery bills doubling or their rent increasing dramatically, while their Social Security check only goes up by a certain percentage that doesn't seem to cover those real-world increases. It's a legitimate concern, and advocates for seniors and people with disabilities have been pushing for reforms to how COLA is calculated to better reflect the actual expenses that beneficiaries face. But for now, this is the system we have, and understanding how it works helps you plan more effectively even if it isn't perfect. Are you someone who's been carefully budgeting every dollar of your Social Security or SSI payment? Have you noticed areas where inflation has hit you particularly hard over the past year? These are the realities that millions of Americans are dealing with, and that's exactly why staying informed about these benefit changes is so important. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your financial security. As we wrap up, I want to make sure you understand that this COLA increase, while significant, is just one piece of your overall financial picture. You should be thinking about other ways to stretch your dollars, whether that's taking advantage of programs for seniors and people with disabilities, looking into additional state or local benefits you might qualify for, or finding community resources that can help with expenses like food, utilities, or medication. There are often programs available that people don't even know exist, and combining your increased Social Security or SSI payment with these additional resources can make a meaningful difference in your quality of life.